Because, New Zealand has, and I know it's a horrible kind of small world mind that punched above its weight, the plucky little country, but there have been things in the past that New Zealand has certainly led the way and held the line. We think about the no nukes in the 1980s, think about women getting the vote, these things that this little country is pretty famous for. And the host again, and I'm sorry, I don't know the host name. I did put it in the show notes, but I forget it. Kind of ask, can New Zealand take a leadership role in the world around tax? Like, can this be a place that shows everyone else how it's done? And it's a good question to ask someone like Chloe, because, it's those leftist issues that we seem to have, led the world in the past.
I mean, we absolutely could be taking a leadership position if we wanted to. Unfortunately, I think with this current government, we're seeing far more of a shredder than we are any kind of vision for the nation that we'd want to build. And this is a point that I made in the budget debate. This kind of cut after callous cut, whether it's in conservation or the front line of what's necessary for communities or climate resilience or adaptation or whatever. It's not only cruel and unusual, but it's not how you build a country, it's how you break one. And that's where I kind of come back to those basic economic principles. It's really deeply ironic and profoundly nonsensical for the government to be talking out one side of its mouth about productivity and growth while actively kneecapping precisely those things with its fiscal strategy, where it is pulling back on government investment and the things that drive that productivity and that growth, let alone fair distribution of those things. But to your question on how our tax proposals would work, so we put on the table a proposal for a wealth tax, which would only apply to the top approximate 3% in this country. So for anyone with an individual net wealth over $2 million, so for a couple it's over $4 million, and that's net wealth, so it's minus obviously your mortgages or otherwise, you'd pay a 2.5% tax above that $2 million net wealth individually. And doing that, along with a suite of other reforms and using debt sensibly to actually pay for productive investment in our infrastructure, as opposed to the tax cuts of Nicola Willis, which have generated 0 jobs and in fact have only continued to minimise the opportunity for young New Zealanders, we can build an economy that works for people and planet.
Let them fight, Chewie. Let them fight.
What I want you to do is the next time Seymour or one other of these right-wing chuds decide to describe Chloe as being a radical, I want you to rephrase that in that she's radical in the same way that someone doing a kickflip on a skateboard is radical. Because that's where I'm at. I'm like, yes, all of that, please. Now, everything she spoke about there is achievable. None of it is like moonshot stuff. But that is how David Seymour and the National Party speak about everything that the Greens put on the table. Oh, it's just pie in the sky stuff. It's all good in theory, but it'll never happen. Like, none of that is crazy future utopia stuff. It's all within reach.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that drives me batty, is every time that they put something like this out there, the media seem to, like, sure, they'll give them a platform to talk about it, but then they do nothing with it. They don't turn around to some of the bigger parties and go, hey, look, this seems all perfectly reasonable and will give us access to some things that people really, really want. Your parties are doing none of it. Why? You know, and certainly for our friends in Labour, copy her fucking homework.
Yeah.
Just wholesale. Just run with it. Or do the thing that I've been saying, where you go, you let them push the boat out, and then you support them doing it. Like, rather than go, oh, well, you know, crazy old Chloe. No, we want you to be a party for the people, a party for the left, and running to the space that National occupies and trying to push them out of that space is not a winning strategy in this man's opinion. I'm the man with the opinion.
Oh, it's your manly opinion.
It's my learned opinion. And look, let me tell you, as a middle-aged white man, my opinion has some weight.
I know. I think you middle-aged white men, you've been too quiet for too long. I do really think you should step up now and start making some noise.
Nobody ever asks us. We just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon there should be a group for you. You should have a march, I think, Chewie. What colour would your flag be?
Some sort of association. Well, obviously.
You should have a march and your flag.
Nobody.
You could probably then convert that flag into like something that you cut eye holes out of as well. Is that about right?